Hello. So this is the next video in my test of the new Army Painter Speedpaint 2.0. I've got hold of one of these Clan Invasion Salvage boxes for Battletech, a random boxed model from a selection of a potential 93 different models. So very random. Let's open the box, see what we've got, and try out the speed paints on it. So let's get this box split open, see what we've got inside. As I said, it's one of a selection of 93, so it could be pretty much anything from the Battletech range. So here we are. Mech there. It's I think it's a summoner. Yep, there you go. There's the data card. It is a summoner. Very nice. There's a couple of data cards here. So there's the Alpha Strike data card and also a pilot card as well. So two varieties on the card and two different pilots. I'm going to paint this one up as a, I don't know really, I'll do Jade Falcon. Yeah, there you go. Let's Samantha Cleese of the Jade Falcon clan. That's the colour scheme I'll be doing. So essentially green and yellow. Let's see how the speed paints cope with that, shall we? I've undercoated this in white. Ordinarily I would undercoat my models with a skeleton bone colour as a preference, but in fairness to Army Painter and the speed paints, they recommend a white or an ash grey undercoat. So I'm going to use white to use them exactly as Army Painter recommend and see how they come out. The recommended way to use these paints is start with your lighter colours first and then work up to the darker ones, which makes sense really given their semi-translucent nature. So I'm starting out with the maize yellow, which will be the accent colour for this colour scheme. A nice bright vibrant yellow. Let's see how it works. So let's lay down some yellow on the first panel that I want to be that colour. As with any of these speed type paints, contrast, speed paint or any other paints, you do need to be a bit brave with them. You've got to use enough on there for them to flow or else the effect won't work. So you do have to feel like you're slapping it on, but that's the way to use them. And you know, they are quite accurate. They've got a kind of a gel feel to them, even though they're quite runny. So they tend to stay where you put them. So obviously being as careful as I can, but not worrying too much about them running everywhere. So as you can see, a nice vibrant yellow. I like this, it's going on nicely. Yeah, it's looking good. I can already see that it's starting to work. And there you go, look, this is it now dry, this first panel, and you can see there's steps in the shadow. It's pulled back from the edges for highlighting and it's covered really nicely. It's gone on nice, and that's pretty good because yellow is a difficult colour, as many people will know. So let's get all the rest of the yellow done. I'll meet you back here when I've finished. So here we are. The yellow bit's all done, and yeah, I'm quite happy. They look quite good. It has pulled back from the edges to give a bit of highlighting. It's deeper in the shadows, in the recesses. So yeah, to be fair, the paint has done what it's supposed to do, and a nice easy yellow is got to be good news for everyone, hasn't it? What I'm going to do now is use some poppy red from the set, just to touch in some detail on the rocket launcher here, a bit of colour before I move on to the green. Yeah, just quickly slapped in some red on the cable there, just for some variety of colour. Right, so for the main colour of this mech, I'm going to use Gilly Dew, which is a sort of quite a nice, vibrant, leafy green colour. The vast majority of this mech is going to be this colour, which I think works well for the Jade Falcons. So let's get some colour on this model. Yeah, as you can see, I didn't have enough colour on the brush to start with. It's just tickling really. So there you go, a nice big splodge of it, and hey presto, look, it's working much better already. So let's do a bit of magical speed up, so you don't have to watch me do all the painting. That's looking alright, isn't it? It's yeah, it's nice. Hasn't even dried yet, and I can already see this paint working. It looks a little bit brighter on camera than it is in reality. It's not quite that vivid, but it's still a nice green. So let's speed it up again, and I'll see you at the other side. Yeah, you know what? I think it's going to work out alright. It's not looking disastrous, is it? It's going on really nicely, and it's funny, you can see it working the minute it goes on. So here we are with the green done. It's looking alright, isn't it? The green's a bit wet, so it's a little bit reflective, but yeah, it's done what it's supposed to do. It's pulled itself into the recesses, it's pulled itself back away from the edges, and it's given a nice coverage of colour. And actually, given that it's only one coat, that is quite nice coverage, quite a nice vivid colour. Yeah, certainly these two colours I've used have done what they're supposed to do. They've gone on quick and speedy, and yeah, they look okay. So now the main green's done, I've got an idea. I'm going to use a slightly darker green, this Forest Sprite, and I'm going to try and do a camouflage pattern, just painting some random stripes on there, and just see how it works. So where to start? Yeah, I'll start on the gun, I think. Yeah, just about here. Just dabbing it on, not quite sure it's going on thick enough, so let's get a bit more paint, and there you go. Yeah, that's it's starting to work. I think this could look okay. So we'll just speed it up and see what it looks like when I've finished. So there you go, that's done. Not bad for a quick and dirty job. Yeah, these paints have worked okay as well. I'm going to move on to the metallics now, but I'm not going to use the metallic speed paint on this project. But before I do that, there's just another couple of details I want to get done. And for those, I'm going to use this Caribbean Ocean. So I'm just going to, first of all, touch in the end of the laser with the blue. It's a nice blue, and yeah, it works well in there, pulling back into the recesses. Also, I'm going to now do the same blue in the canopy on the shoulder of the mech. Zip it through so you don't have to watch me messing around with it, but look, it's quite nice. It's actually quite a nice effect. Look, when that's dried, I think that's going to look okay. Happy with that. Yeah, bit of a subtle shade around the edges and a bit of a blend, and if the camera will focus, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, no, nice colour, nice effect, like it. So metallics now, and I'm going to be using Occultist Cloak, which is a nice grey, I think sort of bluey, slaty grey colour. So let's get this down on metal bits, on the limbs and on the weapons. Let's try it on this grill and see how it turns out. Already I can see, yeah, this is nice. I like this. Yeah, that's worked exactly how you'd want a speed paint to work. Right, come on then, let's crack on, get it all done and see what the grey looks like when it's all finished. And here it is, the mech finished. Yeah, it looks alright, doesn't it? I don't think I'd feel particularly offended if someone turned up to play against me with a mech painted to that standard. It's quick, it's easy, I think it's reasonably effective. You could knock out an army quite quickly using these paints and this technique. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Very happy indeed. So because we've already established that the reactivation issue with the earlier speed paints isn't an issue with this version 2.0, what I can do now is go back in with some normal white acrylic and just touch in some bits that I don't want to be grey anymore. I've got an idea of what to do with these. So there you go, that's them picked out. I think looking a little bit better. Yeah, I don't think I'll leave them white. I think I will go over them with red just to put a bit more colour in there. So I'll be using this Carmine Dragon. Let's see how this works. Just touch it in on the tips of the missiles there. Bit of brighter colour, and I used too much paint. It's got everywhere. So I'll just try and yeah, there you go. Whipped it away with a clean brush. And while the red's out, I'm just going to go back and touch in that cable because I don't think it's bright enough. So let's just give it another go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's looking nicer. So one finished mech. It's not going to win any prizes in a competition, is it? But for what's turned out to be less than an hour's painting time, I don't think I can grumble. I'm quite happy with that. So to finish off the project, I'm going to use this paint, the Rust texture from Green Stuff World, just to get some texture on the base. It's a nice textured paint. You don't have to just use it for rust. I'll slap some down and put some wash over it, paint the edge of the base, and that'll be done, I think. So here you go, the finished article. I have to say, these paints have worked quite well. The colour's gone on really well. They're nice colours, they cover well. You can see the recesses are shaded. They're darker and look like they're in shadow. You can also see, look on the panels here, you've got the main colour is covered well, and it's pulled back from the edges to give you some highlights. So there and yeah, elsewhere, it's looking good. I'm happy. I think these paints are exactly what they say on the tin. They're speed paints. They give you a quick result, and I think they're alright. I mean, they don't stop you making mistakes like that, obviously. The greys worked particularly well on the feet there. Look, you can see the way the paint has worked. And I'm particularly happy with the way that blue's worked on the canopy as well. Yeah, quick, easy, effective. So far I'm quite happy with the speed paints that I've used on this particular project. Yeah, thumbs up from me. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what I've been doing with these paints so far. I think the next video might be a test of the speed paint metallics, which I'm interested to see how they work. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye for now.